Puppies! Ah!
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Not the Bees, the Nicolas Cage filmography podcast. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Megs.
And this week we watched 1993's Amos and Andrew, starring Nicolas Cage and Samuel L. Jackson. And this is one of 3 movies that has come up in our rotation on our random number generator that we have not been able to find a streaming service for. And in the case of 2 of the 3, we have bought physical copies on eBay to watch. And Amos and Andrew is the first one where we had to have a physical DVD copy to watch this movie. So you may not get a chance to watch along with us, but this movie is pretty old. You may have gotten a chance to see it when you were younger. So we start out in a small island town. Nick Cage is in jail. Sam Jackson is driving and talking on the phone. He pulls up to a huge house and he gets out. The cops are played by Dabney Coleman and Brad Dourif, and that's amazing. Sam Jackson has just bought this house, and the nosy white couple from next door thinks that he's robbing the place. They call the cops. As Sam is getting comfortable, the cops are calling for reinforcements and body armor. Brad Dourif colors his face black for a bit that is just stupid. The nosy neighbors are being interviewed by the press. The cops advance on the house. No one in this movie has a name yet. And at this point, we're 25 minutes into the film. Brad trips and he sets off the car alarm. Sam Jackson comes out and Brad is yelling at him to drop his weapon and he's got his gun pointed at him. And Sam Jackson is saying, "I can't hear you, let me turn the car off," and points the keys in the vicinity of the car. Brad Dourif starts shooting. Sam makes it back inside, but the phone won't be turned on till tomorrow, so he can't call anyone for help. The cops are outside and they're getting the phone turned on and call into the house. Dabney Coleman calls in and speaks with Sam. We finally learn his name, Andrew Sterling. Dabney realizes his mistake, and if this gets out, he'll lose his election, so he goes back to the police station. Here we learn that Nick Cage is named Amos Odell. Dabney's got a proposition for Amos. He drives him back to Andrew's house. The plan is Amos is supposed to break in, take Andrew hostage, and then turn himself over to the police, and he'll be on the next bus out of town. Meanwhile, Andrew is sneaking around his house, terrified. The cops call again, and they tell him they're going to get him out. Outside, they hand Amos a gun and tell him Andrew's location. Amos gets to it and goes right into the bedroom. He tapes Andrew to a chair. And finally, we get an interesting conversation in the movie. Andrew is a professor, a lecturer, a director, and a producer, and a, quote, thorn in the side of the white man, end quote. He thinks Amos is here to assassinate him. He keeps asking who sent him. Meanwhile, the nosy neighbors have called the media. They roll up hard and demand to know what's going on. Dabney has no choice. He breaks his pledge to Amos and names him on the news, which Amos sees. Instead of coming out and surrendering, Amos demands $1 million and a helicopter. Dabney breaks in and tells Amos to drop the gun. He uses the N-word. Amos throws down the gun and Dabney clobbers him, and then Andrew hits Dabney in the head with a frying pan for using the N-word. Amos then takes Andrew hostage and for realsies. Amos handcuffs the 2 of them together and they run through the woods. They end up at the nosy neighbor's house where no one is home but the dog. They find a large collection of dildos. The cops' reinforcements show up. They don't know that Amos and Andrew are gone and that Dabney is tied up in the house. Amos and Andrew are still in the neighbor's house learning about each other. The nosy neighbors come home and Amos takes some hostages. He demands the car keys. Back at the other house, Dabney escapes. He calls over the radio, but again thinks that they're still in Andrew's house. Amos lets them know he has more hostages now and again asks for $1 million and a helicopter. While talking to the nosy neighbors, Amos finds the tape of the media interview that they gave earlier and insists that they watch it. The neighbors are revealed to be racists. The pizza delivery girl shows up and Amos realizes all the cops are watching the empty house. He gives the pizza delivery girl the tape and tells her to give it to someone in the media. Finally, the cops raid the empty house. They find nothing. Well, they find Brad Dourif, who tried to go in commando. They call him Amos Odell for the cameras and lead him away. Amos and Andrew are fighting on the lawn of the neighbor's house. Andrew decides to go home. A mob of black preachers shows up demanding free Brother Sterling. They get in a tussle with the police and they catch Andrew's house on fire. Amos is escaping in the neighbor's car. He sees Andrew being chased by some dogs and picks him up. They sick bloodhounds on Dabney Coleman instead. Amos gets away with the neighbor's car. Andrew gets out of the back. They part ways. The end. This is supposed to be a comedy. It lacks the essential elements of a comedy, like what do you call it? Being funny. It's not funny.
What?
And it also is a vestige of race relations in the late 80s, early 90s. So it is very much a period piece of its time. It's not very good. It's just not.
It's just not. It's and maybe if we had watched this movie in the time that it was made, maybe we would have thought it was funny. I mean, I don't personally think that I would have found it funny because it's just not. Like, it's not funny to me that the first 20 minutes of that movie were literal terror for another human being.
Yeah.
Over a miscommunication because of racist neighbors. And I cannot imagine what kind of get out situation that man would have felt as a real person, because he didn't do anything. And then to just openly use the N-word 3 times and twice said by a white person. No.
Yeah.
Not okay. Not Nick Cage, by the way. It was not Nick Cage that said that, not his character. So I'm trying really hard to look at the technical aspects of it. Was the acting okay? Was the editing okay? I feel like the plot, it shouldn't have been made. This movie sucked. I'm sorry. This movie sucked.
Yeah.
This movie sucked in a lot of ways. It's not good. Sam Jackson, of course, is amazing and stellar in his performance because he always is. Nick Cage's acting was good. It was up to par. It's very uncomfortable. It's a very uncomfortable movie. I was not a fan. And it dragged, for an hour and a half long movie, it dragged on. The cops weren't hokey enough. It really wasn't funny.
They try to play the cops hokey by making Brad Dourif kind of this comedic relief character, but the things that he does are not amusing. He puts mud all over his face, and it has the appearance, it looks like full-on blackface. Yeah. And then he explains oh, I'm going incognito because it's the woods and it's night. But it's not good. It's not good.
And at the end of it, I guess there is a bit of a payoff because the pizza delivery girl who is riding her bike that had the stolen tape, that entire sequence was filmed by these small time quote reporters in this town that are trying to make it big. And they're the only ones that have the real story and they get it back. So there is some justice in the end because the chief of police, Tolliver, is actually running for some city council position or mayor or some shit. I can't remember. Yeah. So there's clear indications that he's not going to get away with this ploy. But at the end of it, his wife has shown up from Boston, and Andrew's wife. Yeah, Sam Jackson's wife, Andrew's wife, has shown up from Boston, and he's meeting her at the ferry because him and Nick Cage have driven away in the neighbor's car. He's in the back seat hidden. And he just says what does he say to her? He's like, I think our house is
is
getting a
gonna
lot
need
more
more
work.
work than I thought.
And
Yeah.
then like laughs about it. She has no fucking clue that her brand new cabin in New England has been shot up and set on fucking fire.
Yeah.
She
Or
has
that her
no
husband
idea.
has been terrorized for an entire night.
For 12 fucking hours. Like, if this were made in any year from like 2000 till now, this would have been a horror movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
This would have been like an actiony thriller horror movie. Like, it's...
And maybe that's part of the reason that I didn't like it, because it's playing in the wrong genre. It is trying so hard to present its... And, like, it does present its antagonists very well. I think it does seem very much to be very straightforward in what is happening. But it keeps trying to zag over to comedy, when I think you're right. It should have zigged over into horror.
Yeah. I think so. I think that it would have been better. It would have been certainly easier to find. It would have been somewhere on streaming. But this movie hit the mark at every moment. And it really sucks because it feels like a genuine waste of the talent. Because we have Nicolas Cage. We have Samuel L. fucking Jackson. We have Brad Dourif, who is amazing. We have the
Dabney
preachers
Coleman.
that we talked about. Yeah. We have Loretta Devine, who was she's just an amazing powerhouse anyways, but she was the partner with the preacher, who's played by Giancarlo Esposito. Both phenomenal fucking presences.
Right.
And had ridiculous, very and like, that's the other thing that really bothered me, was that this ended up being on the news, and Giancarlo Esposito's character, preacher, I think his name was Brunch.
I didn't catch
Preacher
his name.
Brunch. It's a ridiculous name. It doesn't matter. So it's a setting with him and Loretta Devine's character at a kitchen table watching this, and he sees this injustice, and he gets up and he starts the phone tree. Like, he's calling people. And all we end up really seeing of that is a black mob. When in reality, when that kind of shit happens, it's not a mob. It's a literal coming together of everyone in the community to defend whatever. But white people only fucking see it as white people are problematic. That's what I learned watching this movie. White people are problematic.
They are. They are.
Yeah, no, this movie just felt like wasted talent. It felt like an outdated, like, it feel like I was watching it and I was kind of feeling like, are they trying to do Trading Places, but like it's just bad? Because it's kind of what it felt like to me. Like, you have this affluent black man who tells this story to Amos about when he's a kid, and his father was a lawyer. His grandfather was a college-educated lawyer, and he came home one day with his buddies, and they were talking all the slang at the time, and his father sent his friends home and washed his mouth out with soap. And he's like, I don't want you to speak like that, blah, blah, blah. And, like, that's horrible, too. And then we have Nick Cage's character, Amos, who is just, we don't even know. He's like a drifter that gets caught up in, like, bad decision-making, but nothing really violent, nothing really, like, he's in jail trumped up on a stolen car charge that isn't even real. He picked up some girl that he thought was over 18, and she gave him the keys to her dad's car. Like, he's just in the wrong place at the wrong time, making random bad decisions, and the only reason he's even in this town is because he was trying to get to Canada. He thought this was Canada because his character is, I guess, an idiot. And at the end of the movie, we see him driving away in a stolen vehicle. Mind you, he's still in the racist neighbor's vehicle. And he's like, Canada, here I come. But he's driving fucking south on I-95. Like, it's just, this movie is just, like, words fail me at how, like, bad doesn't seem effective enough. It's I don't know. It's not good, but it's just not good. And, like, you try to take something that is a systemic problem, that's been a systemic problem for 400 fucking years, and try to turn it into a comedy without being clever about it without
It does lack
actually
cleverness.
showing yeah, like, no, this movie is just not good. This movie is definitely a straight to home video kind of thing. What did you say Rotten Tomatoes had it as?
Let's see quickly. It is 17% on the tomato meter, 31% on the popcorn meter.
Yeah, that sounds like only racists like it. Welcome to our podcast. We don't tolerate racism.
Yeah, it audience reviews. There's one review right here that says it's far more disturbing than funny, and that's true.
Yeah.
And it's just dumb and offensive and pointless.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is definitely a movie that we would tell you to skip. It's not...
If you could find it, we would tell you to skip it.
Yeah.
As it is, we're going to tell you don't spend $6 on eBay on it. It ain't worth it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not worth it.
So we're going to give this movie an F.
Yeah, I think we're soundly agreed on that. Yeah.
What are we going to give the caginess of it?
Man.
Because I think he actually is giving a pretty smart performance. I do too. I think he's the only one in the movie that doesn't come across as a racist asshole.
Well, not an asshole, but there's clearly some learned prejudice. But the conversations that he has clearly indicates that he is willing to learn new things. He's clearly interested in learning about Andrew. He's clearly interested in learning about his struggles and what he's been through. So, I mean, I'm not going to give him an F. I think if I take into consideration how well he acted his parts, if I take into consideration the time period that it was made, the age he was, and what his career was like, I don't really think that he deserves more than a C.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. The acting was good. Maybe this is the point where we're starting to realize maybe he shouldn't take every offer that's made to him.
There are things that are attractive about taking this role. Getting to work with Sam Jackson would be an attractive reason to take this role. Getting to work with Dabney Coleman would be an attractive reason to take this role.
Sure.
And the fact that he's like not playing up the racist stereotypes, and that he is just kind of the dumb criminal in this. Like, I can see good reasons for taking the role.
I can too. It's just, it sucks that that's where his genius lay in some of the movies that he's in, is it's just his performance really that you're watching for. And then it, like, everything surrounding it, all of the scenery is just,
it's just trash.
Bad. Yeah, it's just trash.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate.
So we give Amos and Andrew an F. We give Nick Cage's performance a C. I would give Sam Jackson's performance a B if we were a Sam Jackson podcast, but we're not.
I don't think we could ever do him justice.
No.
He's too prolific. He's God level. He's too far above us.
So that's it, folks. Skip this one. If you happen to have it in your DVD collection, don't bother rewatching it. This is just not a great movie.
It's just not.
As always, if you are so inclined and you like what we're doing, you can hit us up on Patreon at NotTheBees, patreon.com/NotTheBees. You can follow along on our social. We do pictures on Instagram every week of the movie that we're watching at NotTheBeesPod. And that's it for this week. For this episode, I've been Elizabeth.
I've been Megs.
And we'll catch you next time.
See ya.